Namaskar. I hope that everyone is keeping in the pink of health. And in continuation with my previous video on the recruitment process, today I will be sharing some CV or resume writing tips. So, first, to clarify the doubt on, or rather the confusion between these two terms, resume and CV. Uh, I will be using them interchangeably, but as far as the Indian context is concerned, CV is something which is a term used or more suitable for freshers, and resume is a term which is considered to be more suitable for the experienced people. So let's move on to the nitty gritties of resume and CV writing. So, it's an advertisement, right? You are advertising yourself on a sheet of paper. So you need to make it look interesting. You need to make it look appealing. So, what do you mean by an appealing CV? That means that it should have a clearly defined purpose and a well organized concept. So, the purpose of a CV or a resume, of course, is to show all your skills. Uh, Through the skills, your personal qualities as well, your accomplishments, and of course, the concept would lead to the contributions that you have been able to make by using your skills and qualities. So, this is how a resume or a CV should be designed. And why do we need these resumes or CVs? Of course, for all purposes, either for summer trainings, for internships, or for full time employment. Even to apply for programs like MBA, MS, or MTech. Some institutes of higher education will definitely ask for your CV. Another thing, uh, social media gaining so much of importance nowadays. So, professional networking sites like LinkedIn have also become very important as far as your CV or resume, or rather, showcasing your CV or resume is concerned. If I have to cite a study of the US, then 55% of the hiring is happening through professional networking sites like LinkedIn in the US, because this resume or CV contains your details about the skills, strengths, experiences, your interest areas, etc. And this is what will help in generating the interest of the person who gets your CV in hand, and thereby leading you for an interview or maybe a chance of an interview. So these are the major sections as far as a CV is concerned. These are the major areas that you can define, or rather the structure of a CV, the headings of a CV. But to make it a little simpler for the fresh graduates, these are the common or the most required headings as far as fresh graduates are concerned. So, your personal profile, of course, your name, your email ID, and your telephone number. There is a criteria applied to the address and to the address part, because address, until and unless it is required by the company, you are not required to put it on the CV, as all correspondence will happen either through your email ID or through your mobile number. Then, of course, your skills summary again may not be required if you have been able to showcase the skills through either the cover letter or through the projects, trainings, and internships that you have done. Education, of course, because you are a fresher, so education or your academic qualifications are going to be extremely important. Work experience, again related to your projects or any practical exposure that you have had. Maybe it is a paid or unpaid internship or a volunteer experience, like maybe working for an NGO or a unpaid or a position at any particular organization. Your activities and interests. Activities can be further divided into two categories: co curricular and extracurricular. Co curricular means your participations in technical poster presentations, seminars, workshops, everything that is related to your subject of study. That would be a co curricular activity, and anything which is related to sports, cultural, or literary activities would be the extracurricular activities. Then your interest areas. Until and unless, it's my personal opinion that until and unless you have an extremely unique interest area, just for example, very recently in the news, there was an article describing a very young graduate student who had applied for an internship at NASA because of his interest area in cosmology, and he was able to discover a new planet altogether. So, until and unless you have got such an interest area which is extremely interesting and appealing, I think you should keep the interest area as a part of your introduction rather than as a part of your CV or resume. Skills, I am again reiterating that skills would be better if we showcase through our projects, internships, trainings, or certifications. These should be cited along with the duration, because the duration helps the interviewer engaging the expertise level that you would have attained during that training, internship, or certification program. Languages known should be mentioned on the CV only and only if you have the working knowledge of a third language. Third language means one is English, second is your regional language, and the third is any other foreign language. Then you also need to remember that a resume or CV cannot be similar for different profiles, even if you are applying for different profiles, because you as a person will have different qualities which will fit according to that job profile. So you need to highlight them according to the profile required. So, yes, I'm missing out on one thing, and that is the usage of photographs on the CV or resume. Photographs, until and unless asked for, may not be required. And in some cases, the multinational corporate houses may consider putting up of a photograph as a sign of discrimination. Please remember that whenever you are citing the membership of any professional affiliation or society, clearly mention the date when you joined. That should be clearly mentioned. As in my previous slide, the objective, the career objective, or the professional statement or summary, whatever you want to call it, should not be longer than a sentence. And if you are using it, try to keep it well targeted, specific to that particular domain or profile which is for which you are applying. These are some of the examples of how to write an objective and how not to write an objective. Your education should be cited on the document in a reverse chronological order. Uh, Anything below your high school should be avoided, but only and only in special cases if you have got very good ranks or positions, maybe in the science Olympiad or something like that, then only it should be mentioned. Otherwise, everything below the 10th standard can be missed from this particular document. Then the next is the your working experience. Again, for freshers, I will specify working experience would contain the volunteer, NGO, part-time experience, the project, the practical exposure that you gain during internships. Everything can be cited under this experience heading, but in the reverse chronological order. And then comes your accolades, laurels, any position or rank that you have held in any particular competition, etc. Scholarships that you have won, any grants that you have been able to get, the prizes that you have been awarded, nominations for any particular society or any particular event, that also is your achievement. Then I've already clarified my position on memberships of professional societies, and of course, you being a part of any particular committee or coordinating any particular event, acting like a team leader, etc., and also your accomplishments in other areas. Skill section, again, repeating what I have already specified, better explained through the projects, internships, and trainings. Uh, Whenever you are writing about your projects, please specify the status, the duration. If it is a technical project, then technology used, the team size. If it is not an individual project, then the team size should also be specified, and of course your role. The duration and the year also helps the technical interviewer when he or she sees your CV in getting a clear picture of how much knowledge do you have regarding that particular technology. Then, if you are showcasing something which is apart from your projects, internships, certifications, or trainings, please mention that particular software with specific versions. Language ability to be mentioned only when you have knowledge of a third language. These are some of the words which you can use on your CV and in your introduction as well. Apart from that, two of the sites, well known sites, Forbes.com and businessballs.com, have also released a list of words which should not be used on your CV. So you can look up these two sites as well. Uh, some of the major points to keep in mind while formulating your CV. To make it interesting, you can use an infographic format. Uh, of course, margins are very necessary, and a 0.5 inch or a half-inch margin on all sides, top, bottom, left, and right, would make it very useful to fit your CV in one page. Remember that all serif fonts, SERIF, serif fonts are considered to be professional fonts, and you can choose from any one of them. I have specified the sizes of the fonts for your use. Highlighting technique should be uniform throughout the document. By uniformity, I mean using only capitalization, boldface, italics, or underlining. No mixing up of the highlighting technique on one page documents is considered to be good. Also, have it proofread by someone else. When you have your CV proofread by someone else, they will be able to identify the errors which you may not be able to pick out in your own writing. And finally, sharing with you some of the very useful sites for writing of CVs and resumes, and also through which you can apply for online trainings and internships. I hope you are getting lots of knowledge through my videos, and I hope to continue the same. Thank you and good day.